Hi, everybody. Welcome back to WildCare. It is Wednesday afternoon, and here we have the gorgeous Melissa, our wildlife ambassador program manager. Let's get her title right. And today, what are we talking about, Melissa?
Whiskers, Whisker Wednesday.
Whisker Wednesday.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with talking about Luna here. Luna is our Virginia Opossum. She came to WildCare last year, and the reason that she is not releasable back into the wild is when she first came in, she had part of her tail missing, and she was also a little too familiar with humans.
Yeah, what I remember is that somebody had her for a long time, and so she had not been raised by someone that knew to keep her wild. Oh, so the glare is going to be a problem here. All right, Luna, we'll just have you come out.
And so being not afraid of humans and having part of that tail missing, that tail is very, very important, obviously, for grabbing on to branches, not hanging, but they need that for balance, for climbing.
Right, we always joke that Disney lied to us. Opossums do not actually hang by their tails.
Yeah, so that's really, that prehensile tail is very important for them. So Whiskers, you notice that she has a lot of whiskers.
She does.
She has 23 whiskers on her face, and the whiskers are located above her eyes, around her cheeks there, of course, on her nose. And I love it when she eats a watermelon. That is just the funnest thing ever. And whiskers are made out of keratin.
Okay, same thing as our fingernails?
Yeah, just a very thick hair. They are deep-rooted, though. They go all the way down, and they are surrounded by blood and nerves. Okay. So the purpose of whiskers is to pick up movement or vibration. Her eyesight is not that good, or Virginia opossums are not good, so they really rely on those whiskers to detect movement or vibration.
She's acting like that watermelon's going to make a break for it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Heather. Hey, Teresa.
So that's what she's doing. She's detecting movement and vibrations with her whiskers. Now, of course, she's using it in the air. The whiskers that a seal would use, they use those whiskers in the same way. And so they're detecting movement and vibrations around them. And opossums do not have this. I know it's kind of funny to watch, isn't it? It's like, okay, I don't want to get sprayed with some watermelon juice here, right?
She's so wonderful. She's such a wonderful opossum. Look at her. She loves that watermelon. I'm surprised she's going for the watermelon before she goes for the fish.
Right. So she loves watermelon. They also like bananas as well.
Oh, okay.
So the whiskers are collecting information about her surrounding, whether there's prey or maybe danger around, or maybe an object. So the faster that those little whiskers move, the more information that she's collecting.
Oh, so she can move them.
Yep, she can move them. So all the information, you start working really, really fast. She's just collecting information there of her surroundings.
Oh.
Now what she's eating is, of course, the watermelon. We've got smelt or fish. We've got some cottage cheese, some corn, and some grapes. She really likes the grapes, too.
Oh, she does like the grapes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and you can really see, against the black backdrop, you can really see her whiskers, how prominent they are, how much they stick out.
Yeah, and they, when they get going, she's out looking for something or hunting down some food.
Elaine, thank you so much. Oh, my gosh.
Not the cleanest of eaters, but
thank you so much. Elaine just donated.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you. She's very tactile with those little paws of hers. Of course, grabbing on and holding around. Right? She's just, which is great because we really worked with Luna to get her out and get her used to her surroundings and everything. So she can only see maybe a few feet in front of her. Her other sense, which is very cute, of course, is her sense of smell.
Right. So between the sense of smell and the whiskers, she's got a pretty strong arsenal there, doesn't she?
She does. She actually can. She's kind of eating it like a corn cob now.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm going to get a watermelon shower here.
Right? That's what I mean. I'm like, stand back. There'd be like watermelon seeds flying everywhere.
I apologize in advance if we suddenly lose visual because we get a splotch of watermelon on our lens here.
So her sense of smell is number 3 in the animal kingdom. She has about 1,188 genes designated to smell.
Oh, that's interesting.
Humans only have 396.
Really? Mm-hmm. So she has over 1,188 genes dedicated to her olfactory senses.
Yep.
And we only have 396.
Yep. A rat has, I believe, 1,200. around 1,200.
Around 1,200? Okay, that makes sense.
And amazingly enough, I did not know this, nor would it even have crossed my mind, African elephant is actually the number one in the animal kingdom.
No kidding. So the African elephant has the best sense of smell.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You don't think of, I mean, I guess they use their trunks all the time.
Right. But you don't think like smell. I would think that they'd use vibration because I know they're very sensitive to vibrations.
Right.
So the fact that they have, I would have thought it would have been the rat, but
sure.
But the fact that they have the number one in the animal kingdom is quite impressive. And of course, there are little Virginia opossums. Of course, they're found anywhere in a nice, dense shrubbery area that would have a good source of water. For us, we find them in our backyards.
Sure.
We've got good sources of water in our backyards, as well as lots of good food in the trash.
We do. I have a message from Ellen. She says, perhaps she can eat the ticks off my dog, LOL.
Yes, she can. They can
Not specifically off the dog.
Yes. So that is one of their important ecological roles is to eat ticks. Ticks carry 7 different types of diseases. Lyme disease, of course, is probably the most notable. And they can eat 5,000 ticks, and if you think about that, I mean,
like in a year.
Yeah, and they're just keeping us healthy. They're also keeping our animals healthy. They're also eating mice, any insects, that would eat our agriculture. So that's always a very important role. And when you think about that as what they do as far as the cost. And saving us, agriculture is $1 billion industry.
Sure.
So it's really important to have animals like this to control the population of insects and rodents.
Sure. It's funny because I think opossums are very much misunderstood. I think a lot of people think of them as being large rats. Of course, they are marsupials.
Marsupials,
She does have a pouch under there, and they do provide such an incredible service. We always say that they're part of nature's cleanup crew.
They are.
Moving through your yard, taking care of the bugs and the gross things and the dead things and the mice and the rats. And picking up ticks, and then she's a very fastidious groomer, so she will, once she's finished roaming through your yard, she will have picked up a bunch of ticks that otherwise would have ended up on your dog, Ellen, of course.
Yes.
And she will groom herself fastidiously, and she will eat all of those ticks and get rid of them for you.
And the reason why she's cleaning so well is because she also is a prey for other prey. So she's licking off all of that trash, that smell that she's gotten her hands into, so she wants to make sure she doesn't draw any attention to herself.
Right now she smells like watermelon and fish.
Yeah, and she does, but she'll sit here and she'll groom herself. Likes that corn as well. She's grabbing that with her hands.
She's super hungry today. She seems okay with the cottage cheese as well.
She does. She actually just likes the cottage cheese sauce or whatever in
the whey?
Yeah, and
I can see that.
She'll just leave the cottage cheese chunks.
Oh, she's so funny.
She is, and she has a very good memory too.
Oh, I love that. Really? I mean, I think people think of opossums as being not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Yep.
Yeah, they actually, in comparison to raccoon, they do have smaller brains, but brain size does not equal intelligence as well.
That's for sure. Hey, Rach.
So comparison to dogs or cats or any other animals, they've done testing where they can locate their food very quickly. So like through an obstacle course. They remember the track that it took to get them there. So the only, in the tests that they've run, the only one who's better at it would be humans.
So interesting. So actually using memory, not using the sense of smell or using those amazing whiskers to track down her prey, just actually using her memory.
Yeah.
Right? See, it depends on what you mean by smarts.
Yes.
What your definition of intelligence is.
Yeah, I always get that question, how smart are they? I'm like, well, these animals, they provide a good ecological role, and they're good at what they do, and they take what they only need to survive. So in that case, they're much more intelligent than humans.
Well, and that's very true. Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's all relative. But yeah, we're very lucky to have her as part of our ambassador program, and she's very important. Our ambassador animals are very important because they help us to connect and educate the public about their species.
Yep. No question. I whenever I do a presentation for WildCare, I do a lot of for Rotary clubs and stuff, and whenever I do a presentation, I always ask people if they like opossums, and if people say no, I say that they need to come to WildCare, or in the case of during COVID-19, they need to come to our live streams.
Yes, yes.
And they need to check out Luna the opossum, because she really is such a beautiful little animal, and she has so much personality.
She does.
And she's also just so cool.
And
I find them wonderful.
And I think, she's just very, I mean, when we go in and we feed her and everything like that, she's a very sweet girl, and she sleeps about 19 hours a day, so she's got it pretty good.
She's got a pretty good schedule. That's pretty awesome.
She does. So we got her in the kennel here, and she smelled the food, and she's like, oh, wait, it's food time now.
It's food time.
I think she was.
It's interesting. She those whiskers are probably still pretty active even while she's sleeping.
I have video of her actually moving in her sleep, moving her paws, and moving her whiskers.
So I'm probably dreaming.
That's what I think. And I'm like, I wonder, do you think she's like going after some bananas or what?
She's probably going after some watermelon. Oh, now we're going to do some grooming.
Yes. Oh, see, now we got to do this.
Oh, look at this. Oh, she's so wonderful.
Isn't she's like I said, she's just really, and that's really important to point out too, is that just because we have an animal that is, could be an educational animal, doesn't always mean that there would be part of the program.
Right.
We go through a lot of different testing and to determine if an animal would be okay to be with us as an educational animal, and it really does depend on the personality. There are some species of opossums that just don't handle it very well.
Yeah.
So it's a long process, and it takes myself and Melanie, our head of the hospital, and Dr. Juliana Sorum, and we go through all of a conferencing and determine if an animal would be good for education.
Right. I mean, we'd never, ever keep an animal in captivity that would be able to survive in the wild. We treat and release, I'd have to look at the numbers, but over 100, maybe as many as 200. Bricia, thank you so much. We appreciate your donation so much. Well, we treat it's between 100 and 200 opossums a year. I think it's been a big opossum this year, opossum year this year. So we do treat so many of these wonderful animals and then release them back into the wild where they should be.
Yeah, because
and again, it's a very rare opossum that would not be able to survive in the wild and can also deal with the stresses of captivity. In that moment that we just had here, one of our volunteers just looked in, and that she was worried about that. She was paying attention to that.
She was sensing the vibrations.
She exactly was.
Whiskers.
Yes, but I love that she's so calm with you, and she seems fine with me as well.
Yeah, it's probably because they smell like fish and all sorts of good things. Because they prepare their food.
Melissa looks good, but she smells like the food that she feeds the animals. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's like, oh, what's wrong with Melissa? I'm wearing makeup today. Usually I'm covered in all sorts of nastiness. But the animals love it. So I always think that's really funny, because when I go back to my apartment, I always have all the dogs come up to me and start smelling me. And they're like, they must like you. I'm like, no, I smell like really nasty stuff.
Yep. No, really interesting stuff. So I think we're done. Oh, now we can get a good look at the tail that's missing its tip there. Yep. And she's like, well, my work here is done.
Yeah, she's like, I have
shown off my whiskers. I have discussed my sense of smell.
She's like, that's all you get, folks.
That's all you get. We're going back to bed. Well, everyone that joined us, thank you so much for being here with us. We're going to be back on Friday. Don't know what we're doing on Friday yet, but it will be something fascinating, either with one of our amazing wildlife ambassador educational animals, or maybe with something in the hospital, depending on what's happening back there. But we're so grateful to have everybody with us. I hope it's been fun and entertaining for you. I just feel like there's few things in the world more wonderful than watching this opossum have her lunch. It's so satisfying. And Melissa, thank you for all of the work that you're doing to educate us and let us know all the fun, amazing facts about these animals. Everybody, just take care, stay healthy, wear your mask. We'll be back on Friday. Good night, Luna.
Good night, Luna.
My work here is seriously done. Thanks, everybody. Bye.